Hi everyone, thank you so much for clicking my channel. My name is Ciara LaShawn and you have come to the right place if you are having questions about breastfeeding. Welcome everyone here that's new. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we're talking about just signs whether you have a low milk supply or not. And listen, it's gonna wow you because a lot of times we think we have low milk supply and we really don't. So definitely stay tuned for that, y'all. I just had to take a moment at the beginning of this video and tell you guys that, like, I don't know if it was God, I don't know if it was the Holy Spirit, I don't know what it was. Last night as I was planning my content for the next few days, it was like this name came to me. Now you know how everybody names their communities, their YouTube communities. Y'all, this name dropped in my spirit. Again, I don't know if it's from God because I don't want to be embarrassed and I tell y'all the name and y'all are like, Ciara. However, it did just pop up in my spirit like real random. The name that just popped up to me was Breasties. Y'all can laugh. So, like, you know, there's different YouTube communities and they have names for their families or their name for their community on YouTube. And how do y'all feel about the name Breasties? Is that weird? I was talking to Dante. I told him, I was like, I don't know if it was God or what, but it just came randomly last night to me. And I'm like, I'm up here on the internet calling people breasties, but I'm also somebody faster. So let me know in the comments below what y'all think about that name or if you have any other suggestions. Do y'all think that's God? Don't leave me hanging. Don't let me be embarrassed. My content is for people, specifically my breastfeeding content is for women who intend or desire to breastfeed. It's not for women who don't want to breastfeed because I don't want you to feel forced. I'm only encouraging you and talking to you as a breastfeed because I want to help you guys. I want to help the women who want to breastfeed. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's talk about the real tea, why you guys are here. You're here because you think you have a low milk supply. But I have good news. You more than likely don't. Let's talk about what is not a sign of low milk supply, because it's really sad that a lot of people, oh my God, 9 times out of 10, I hear this all the time. It's actually really crazy. I have text messages in my phone of people I love so much and they're always like, I have to stop breastfeeding because my supply is decreasing. Or when people see me breastfeeding out in public, they'll say, oh, I used to breastfeed, but I had to stop because I lost my milk supply. Y'all, you more than likely don't have low milk supply. Now you might have a low day. You might have a lower week, few days, right? When you might be on your period or when you might be stressed. It can be a little low. But you don't have, like, that doesn't mean you have long-term low milk supply like forever. Let's get into it, y'all. There's literally only 3 things that you need to look out for low milk supply. 3 things 3 to look out for low milk supply. See if what you've been noticing is on the list. 1, the baby is not using the potty or the restroom. They're not peeing. They're not having any wet diapers or poopy diapers. They're not having any full diapers. That is a sign if they're not wetting their diapers. I had to explain this to you guys because very few of us know what that means. I'm gonna be honest, some of us, not saying myself and not calling anyone else out, not even calling you out, but some of us are a little lazy. And so we don't know. We don't even know how many diapers our baby has had. Trust me, if you have low milk supply, you will notice a deep difference. Now, a few weeks ago, Avia had a virus and that virus caused her to be extremely hydrated. I mean, she was vomiting every other hour. This is how we knew that she was dehydrated because I gave her a bath around 8 p.m. and then she threw up around, I want to say like 11. The diaper from 8 to 11, no wet diaper. That's kind of okay, that's weird. Then we go to sleep at 11, wake up at 3 because she vomits again. The diaper at 3 still isn't wet. So at this point, she hasn't wet her diaper since 7 p.m. You would notice that. Then we have a doctor's appointment the next day, bring her to the doctor, and she still has not used the restroom, okay, has not peed. So from about 7 p.m. at night to 10 o'clock in the morning, she had no wet diaper. That is alarming. That is dehydration, and that's when you can say, okay, my child might be dehydrated. And in that sense, it wasn't because I had low milk supply. She just wasn't even able to drink the milk, really, because she kept vomiting so much. So that was completely different, but that is also a sign for you to know. Take that into account if your child is having like not a lot of wet diapers. It's recommended that your child has 6 to 8 diapers, especially infants, at least 6 to 8 diapers a day. So if you have noticed that over the past few days you haven't been having 6 to 8 wet diapers, then you might be a little concerned. But even then, you talk to your doctor. Don't automatically assume that it's your breast milk. So you notice that your baby isn't gaining, and that can be a sign that, hey, they're not, if you're exclusively breastfeeding or pumping and you're noticing that they aren't gaining weight, then that could likely also be that they're not getting enough milk. Again, talk to your doctor. Don't judge them yourselves. Dante and I, we actually have a scale for Avia. It came in a tub. It was kind of cool. It was a baby shower gift. And that tub, when you don't have water in it, even, it's weird because you're supposed to put water in a tub, but that tub is different. It's like, if you want to weigh yourself, because the tub weighs you, if you want to weigh yourself, it's best not to do it with the water in, because then you have to weigh the water. But anyways, we used to weigh her on the tub because she was premature. She was really tiny, and so we would get really excited for those growth milestones. And so that's a way to kind of tell if your child is gaining or losing weight. But don't self-diagnose, because even still, you need the opinion of the doctor to tell you whether their weight is a healthy weight or not healthy weight, or whether it's normal. Don't say, oh my gosh, my child lost 2 ounces, they're not getting enough milk. Talk to your doctor first. But these are just some signs. Right now, if you have all 3, maybe, but it's not that's not as likely. The next symptom is that your child might have a sunken soft spot, and that's also a sign that Dante and I used to look for in Avia, and we'd be like, oh, she's dehydrated, if we notice like a little bit of sinking. And so we would immediately give her some milk, feed her, and that sunken spot would be back to normal. Y'all, those are just 3, and there may be more, but those are 3 of the most common signs that you have low milk supply. 3, not 10, not 5. What did you not hear me say? So let me tell you what are not indications of low milk supply, because this is where a lot of people end up ending their breastfeeding journeys prematurely. Here are the things that are not indications of low milk supply. Night feeding. Your baby wants to just be on the breast all night, and you're like, they're drinking so much tonight, I can't get any sleep, my milk supply must be low. That is not a sign that you have long-term low milk supply. It could be several things if your child is night feeding. What's crazy is that I myself actually had a moment the other day when Avia was you okay? When Avia was breastfeeding, and she was like on the boob, on both boobs, switching, and I was like, oh my god, am I not having enough milk? Like, why? Because I wasn't getting any sleep. I was like, is she just not getting enough milk? But then I had to think, it could be other things. She could be teething, she could have a fever, she could be a slew of other things. She'd be going through a growth spurt. So just because your child is feeding a lot at night does not mean that you have low milk supply. Something else that goes with that is cluster feeding, and the baby just feeding a lot. Again, it could mean multiple things. It doesn't have to mean that you don't have milk supply. It's actually not a sign of low milk supply. Something else that's not an indication of low milk supply is your baby being fussy at the boob. A lot of people think, oh my gosh, my baby is mad because they're not getting enough milk, I have low milk supply. Oh my gosh, I gotta go ahead and get them formula because they're fighting me. They're hitting the boob, they're pulling the boob, they're scratching the boob, they're being so fussy, they're crying at the boob, they must be hungry and I'm not feeding them. No, it can be a whole bunch of other things. For the love of sweet baby Jesus, when you see the milk that you pumping moms, do not think, oh my gosh, I didn't fill the bottle today, I have low milk supply. That is not a sign of low milk supply. If you look at the bottle and you're like, oh my god, I have low milk supply, That doesn't mean you quit breastfeeding because you have long-term low milk supply. Again, you might have a low day. It's more than likely just a low day. Can we just agree to that? It's more than likely just a low milk day. It happens. It happened to me, and I used to think my milk supply was gone. Then I would drink some lactation tea, drink some water, and I would go on about my day, and guess what? My milk would be right back to normal. Drink my water. All you gotta do is drink water and keep breastfeeding. The minute you stop breastfeeding, that's when you have low milk supply. But if you keep breastfeeding, you won't have low milk supply. So another thing is when we're really early into this motherhood thing, or into like we just had a baby, we are very used to awkward, uncomfortable feelings in our breasts. Like that letdown feeling, those sharp pain, like that, you can feel it, you know, when it's like let down and your nipples get all twisty and stuff. And you know what it feels like to be engorged. You know what it feels like to have heavy boobs, full boobs. You can usually feel the boob. Y'all, if you don't have those overfull feelings anymore, those letdown feelings, or those like any sensations in your breast that you would have had when you were really early in your breastfeeding journey, y'all, maybe your body's just adjusted. Okay, that is not a sign that you have low milk supply. So in all of these false, fake positives, or whatever, or fake negatives, right? In all of these reasons why you think that you need to stop breastfeeding, or you think you have low milk supply, is probably an indication of something else, okay? So rest assured that you can breastfeed. You may never know how much your child is eating. I have no clue. I have no clue how much Avia has breastfed. I mean, I know like that I breastfeed her multiple times throughout the day, but how much she's getting, no clue. As a matter of fact, I gave up that, like, trying to figure that out a long time ago. I really did, because she's almost 2 years old. She still breastfeeds every single day, every single night, all throughout the day, all throughout the night. She still like loves the boob. So I'm like, all those days where I put so much pressure on myself and was like, oh my gosh, do I not have enough milk anymore? Y'all, I still have milk. So those obviously were fake moments, like fake outs. Those were not real. My encouragement to you is you might not ever know how much your baby is eating or has eaten, but here's the thing, you will see a healthy baby. That's what you will see. So as long as you see a healthy and happy baby, that's all that matters. And they might not always be happy, but that's because kids are, you know, little terrorists. I shouldn't say that. Kids are crazy. They're a little wild. So I mean, you know, but as long as they're healthy, right? So if they're healthy, that's what matters, and that's what you should be really grateful for. The fact that I grew a whole human being off of my body, like what? A whole year on my body? That's interesting. I don't want to discredit these experiences that you may be having, so I do have another video on how to increase your milk supply. I know you're like, well, you're saying I don't have low milk supply, but you're sending me somewhere to increase my milk supply. You don't have long-term low milk supply. You might have a bad day, like I said, but there are ways that you can boost your milk in the day, throughout the day, or throughout the week, and that way that'll give you a little bit more encouragement to keep going. All right, don't throw in the towel. You got this. I'm with you. What do you think about breasty? Let me know in the comment section. And if you have any other ideas or questions about breastfeeding or concerns when it comes down to milk supply, let me know down in the comment section below. If you have any testimonies or stories about your milk supply, share them below in the comment section. I love you guys. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you can stay connected to all of this breastfeeding wonderful content. Thank you so much. We love you.